Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, and we are going to have a fun kiki. So, we all know that the Real Housewives of Potomac is coming back in October, but they are already gearing us up for what is sure to be a very messy, dramatic, key chaos of a season. So let's get into it. But before we do, you guys know the drill. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss when we go live, and share. Sharing this video, sharing this channel, it is a very easy way and free way to support. And also check out the super thanks in the description box because there's tons of goodies down there. From merchandise, books, podcasts, movies, we got it all going on with the Candy Cane gang. So with that, let's dive in. So first up, Miss Mia. Okay, you guys, Miss Mia might be switching sides. Miss Mia might be switching lanes. I have some thoughts about this, you guys. I have some thoughts. So word on the street is that the newbie on the show, her name is Jacqueline Blake. So Jacqueline Blake is supposed to be Mia's friend. And Mia allegedly really went hard to get her on the show so that Mia would have a friend. She would have someone to have her back. You know, she was definitely prepared for the green-eyed bandits that she is now pictured on her Instagram right here with Giselle and Robin. Because as we all know, Giselle and Robin was giving Mia a really hard time, saying, oh, you faked having cancer. You did it for, clout. You did it to get back on the show. You did it for sympathy. Like, you're going around here trying to pull a Brooks from the Real Housewives of OC, fronting like you have cancer when you really don't. So that was kind of what Mia knew she was going into with Giselle and with Robin, really trying to come after her, saying you're faking a cancer storyline for sympathy and to get back on the show. And Mia's like, you're crazy. You're really mean. I had a cancer scare and I shared it. I never tried to fake cancer. So allegedly she brought on Jacqueline Blake to kind of be her shield, her friend, to go against Robin and Giselle. However, now sources are saying that Mia has switched sides. So on here, she's saying, happy birthday, Gizzy, at Giselle Bryant. I love you to pieces. And yes, I'm including Robin. I don't get in between authentic sisterhood, a bunch of random hashtags. Then Robin says, LMAO, you could have Diddy cropped me out. I would have understood. Love you for keeping me in, though. And then she goes, oh, wait, let me try to figure out who this subliminal is directed at, though. So people are saying that the subliminal is directed at Jacqueline. Yes, you heard it right. The same Jacqueline that Mia was supposed to be friends with and brought onto the show to be her ally to go against these two women that she's actually photoed with. And they're saying that she cropped out Jacqueline. Apparently, there's been some falling out between Mia and Jacqueline. I don't know why they fell out. I don't know what the switch was. But apparently, Mia brought Jacqueline on the show to be her ally against the Green-Eyed Bandits. Something went down, and now she has switched sides to be, pick me with Giselle and Robin, and now she's on the outs with Jacqueline, and that's why they were talking about cropping people out. Now, Mia, Pumpkin Peter, Mia. I never understand it. It never clicks in my head when people, particularly successful, classically beautiful people, are so desperate to be liked and picked and chosen and accepted by people who show them time and time again that they don't like you, boo-boo. They don't care about you. They're not your friend. They're not on your side. They're not your sister. They don't have your back. They play you and they use you and they exploit you. So regardless of what happens between Mia and her friend Jacqueline, and I really hope it's not some Giselle and Robin getting in between them as friends, I don't know why you would then kiki and think that you are BFS with these ladies. Like, you should know that these women are loyal to no one but each other. And barely Giselle is loyal to Robin. You know, we're going to talk about it in a little bit how Candiace got caught with the alley oop. But every single time a castmate on the show is so desperate to be picked by Giselle and Robin, they cuddle up to them, they kiss their butt, they go in on their schemes, and then half a season later or the next season, Giselle and Robin are destroying and tearing that person down, i.e. Katie, i.e. Wendy, i.e. Candiace, i.e. Monique, except for Monique was never that super thirsty. But it boggles my mind how you couldn't pay me to wish somebody a happy birthday, let alone post it publicly on my Instagram, who's accused me publicly of faking cancer to be on a show and for sympathy votes. I don't know what Mia is thinking. We're going to see what happens on the show. As always, you guys, put it down in the comment box what you think. If you were Mia, would you trust Giselle and Robin? Would you be hanging out with them? Would you be being BFF with them, knowing that they tried to really malign your character, malign your name, and say that you were faking cancer? Would you have a good kiki with them? Let me know. So again, to switching alliances. So this is the Jacqueline Blake. She is the latest housewife on Potomac. And again, she was brought on by Mia to be her ally. But apparently, as we can see, they have a falling out. They're no longer friends. And she is now buddying up and being cozy with none other than the Grande Dame, Karen Huger. So now they have a budding alliance. They have a budding friendship. It's the two of them now, also with other people, but now they're close, which makes sense because we all know Karen and Giselle beef. They beef hardcore, sing. We all know Robin just does whatever Giselle tells her to do. So when I say Giselle, I mean Giselle and Robin because they're one and the same. And so it makes sense that if Mia has now switched alliances and now she's with Giselle and Robin and Jacqueline's on the outs, it would make sense for Jacqueline then to befriend Karen if she's going to stay on the show, if she wants allies, if they want a stronger side against the Green-Eyed Bandits. That makes sense. And the crazy part is all these women are super beautiful and really cool. So we'll see what transpires. Dun, 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 dun. What is next? Okay, so word on the curb is that Wendy and Karen are going to beef. I don't know I haven't heard what the beef is, but I heard that during the season something goes down between Wendy and Karen, and that's something I did not see coming. That's a flop I did not see coming. JM says, hi, Candy, do you like Wendy? Okay. I don't like Wendy, but I don't necessarily dislike her. I feel like she's a little bit all over the place. Her personality changes, her looks changes, and that's fine. Everybody wants a glow up. Everybody wants to come out of their cookie cutter shell. So we've seen various versions of Wendy's from season to season. I felt like on the reunion, she was a little off-putting because to me, I felt like Wendy came into the reunion on the right side. Like she was 100% right in being pissed at the women for coming after Eddie, for coming after her marriage, for all of that, for throwing her and her husband and their marriage under the bus. I get it. She had every right. She was on the right side. But she just seemed a little just a little too raw, like a little too much, where it was kind of like you can just sit and say your position because you're actually right, but you're doing the most, like you're doing too much. And that to me was a little off-putting. She's a little flat to me. To me, the whole season she was doing too much, but I don't dislike her. There's nothing about her that I don't like. It's just she's not someone that I really resonate with, if that makes sense. JM says, I heard that Mia and Karen are still friends. Yeah, I think Mia and Karen are friends. The rumor was that Mia and Jacqueline had a falling out. And we all know Karen and Giselle beef. But I do think Mia and Karen are probably still friends. But Mia and Jacqueline, who was the girl that she brought on the show, it's rumored they are the ones who had the falling out. And she cropped them out of this picture, and that's why they're talking about the subliminal cropping out. But these are great questions, my candy canes. So yeah, word on the curb is these two have a falling out. I wonder what it's about. I can't wait to see this season what that situation is. Now let's talk about Miss Candiace Dillard Bassett. Okay, boo boo. Candiace. First of all, we all know that she was on the Real Housewives Girls Ultimate Girls Trip season 3. They filmed for about 7 to 10 days. She said she's exhausted. The girls create drama for no reason. Well, if you have to get an entire season in 7 to 10 days, every day has to be the most. Literally everything has to be the most for 7 to 10 days. But she was complaining about it, said she was really tired. But I am interested to see that season. It's a cute show, and I want to see her interacting with other housewives. So we'll see with that one. We also heard that on the trailer, there may be another falling out between Candiace and Karen because, Candiace maybe was imbibing a little bit too much and she was trying to kiki. She was trying to bond with Ashley because, again, she really, really wants Ashley's approval, acceptance, and friendship. And she basically said that Karen was cheating on Ray. Like, oh, Karen was seen leaving town and with a man and it wasn't her husband. It wasn't Ray. It wasn't blah, blah, blah. Girl, how many times and how many square tissues did you waste? How many trees had to die for your square tissue papers? Were you crying and boo-hooing that Karen didn't want to mess with you? That Karen was being neutral? That Karen called you to the carpet? And then the moment you and Karen actually get in a good place, you turn around and try and say she's cheating on Ray to Ashley? See, Candiace, this is why nobody messes with you. This is why you get the bad rap. This is why nobody really messes with you like that. You cry victim all the time. And then you either say something that is so below the belt and so down to hell that it's just indefensible, or you hear stories about somebody making up paternity rumors about your so-called friend and you don't say anything to them and wonder why they don't mess with you. Or you cry in somebody's face for a whole season, please be my friend, and then the moment you're your friend, you turn around behind their back on national television talking about they're cheating on their husband. So, Candiace, this is why people don't mess with you. It's a you thing. It's a you thing. And I also saw how Candiace and Wendy were trying to talk about the colorism on Real Housewives of Potomac. This might be an unpopular opinion, but all opinions are always welcome here. Candy cans are always welcome to share their opinions and their thoughts and their perspectives. I'll share my opinion on it, but it's just my opinion because I know colorism can be a touchy subject. So I just want everyone to know that this is a safe space. We can talk about it, and everybody's opinion is valid and honored and respected. I personally do not see the colorism issue on Real Housewives of Potomac. I just don't see it. We don't give Giselle and Robin a pass because they have green eyes, blonde hair, and light skin. If anything, we sort of mock them for it. We call them the green-eyed bandits. We talk about how they thought that they could get off on their quote-unquote pretty privilege, but they can't. So to me, Candiace, I think the reason why people don't like her is because she's not a likable person. I don't think it's because of her skin tone, particularly within the cast, but also with the audience as well. I don't see colorism in the cast, and I don't see it with the audience. to compare it to, for example, like Basketball Wives, everything that happened with OG. Now that to me was a clear case of colorism. That was a clear case. What's her name? Evelyn Lozado, whatever her name is, and Shawnee and all the other people. That clearly was a case of, we think we're better than you because we're lighter than you. We have more European features than you with that girl Crystal and everything, right? That was a clear case of colorism if you ever had one. But I just don't see that. I think it's that Candiace just isn't likable. It's a likability factor. She's mean and she's immature and she's whiny and she complains and she's a lot. She's irritating. It's the likability factor, Candiace. It has nothing to do with your skin tone. Like, sometimes people need to just realize that they are the problem. It's not an attribute. It's not anything. It's not a bias. It's not any of the isms or whatever. Sometimes it's you. If you rub the majority of the world the wrong way, it might be you, sis. It might be you. So the whole colorism thing doesn't land with me. I know Wendy's getting on that too, talking about the colorism. Again, this might be an unpopular opinion, but Wendy, what are you doing with your own skin tone? In my opinion, I'm not saying this is a fact, just based on my own vision, it seems like she may have dabbled in some type of skin bleaching. If not that, then she's wearing like two shades too light makeup for the skin tone that we've seen her with, because this skin tone of Wendy does not seem to be her current skin tone, or at least at her current makeup routine. So I'm kind of like, how are you being on your horse about colorism when you are bleaching your skin or you're wearing makeup that clearly does not match your natural skin tone? Like, I'm confused on that one. Like, what? And again, it's a likability factor. Like, I think that Wendy has more likable not even likable about Wendy. And again, just in my opinion, it's not that she's unlikable. It's just that she's kind of flat to me in places where I feel like I could take her or leave her. Sometimes she's a kiki, sometimes she's annoying, sometimes she's just there, if that makes sense when it comes to Wendy's situation. But back to Miss Candiace. So you threw Karen under the bus by basically alluding to the fact that she's cheating on Ray. We still don't have any receipts. So, okay, Miss Candiace. And she's also playing victim when it comes to, again, her treatment. She's saying Andy doesn't like me. Andy is mean to me. Andy exploits me. Andy uses me for clicks and views and ratings. Andy doesn't like me. Andy doesn't like me. Wah, 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 wah. Okay. Candiace, if no one has educated you on this fact, you are an employee of Bravo. It's literally your job to be used for clicks and views and ratings. That's why they hire you, and that's why they keep you. I'm confused what you mean by Andy exploits you. Does Andy make you say the vile things you say? Does Andy make you get wasted and go on Instagram Live and spill the tea? Does Andy make you, become a disaster on social media? Unless Andy is telling you what to say, what to do, how to be, I don't understand how you're claiming Andy is exploiting you. That doesn't make sense to me. You're literally hired talent to be on a show. I'm confused exactly why you're saying that you're being victimized. That I don't understand. Andy may not like you, and Andy may not rock with you, and he tolerates you the way a lot of people tolerate you because it's his job to tolerate you. We cannot forget, Candiace, that you were caught saying very homophobic things on Twitter. Andy is a gay man. So if we can understand how a Black person could not like someone who was doing racist tweets, if a Hispanic person cannot like someone who was doing racist tweets, If a person of, regular means could feel offended if someone was doing very elitist and snobbish and privileged tweets, then I can understand. Again, I'm not saying Andy is perfect. We all know Andy can have his problems and his blind spots and all that, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, I can understand how a gay man cannot want to mess with you when you got caught out there being extremely homophobic. And not like years and years and years ago, like some people like to say, oh, this was 10 years ago, we've changed. It's been a continual thing. You said very homophobic things against the black socialite blogger who unfortunately he passed away. You said very homophobic, hateful things to him, and that was only like a couple years ago when he passed. So I get why Andy doesn't mess with you or doesn't like you. I don't. If I had a coworker who was tweeting very sexist, tweets, as a woman, am I going to rock with him? No. But am I going to tolerate him because I need my check? Yeah. So Candiace, Missmate was trying to say that you're a victim because Andy doesn't like you. Well, maybe he shouldn't. Not a lot of people do. Stop saying you're a victim because of colorism. I don't see the colorism. People don't like you because you're not likable. That's really what it is. And you need to do the work. Because I don't think that I don't think at your core you're this actual like evil, cold person, like an Erica Girardi or a Lisa Rinna or a Diana Jenkins. I don't think that. I think you're really hurt. I think you have a lot of trauma. I think you have a lot of hurt. I think you have a lot of wounding. But you instead, it's like you embody hurt people. Like you're so enmeshed with your own hurt and pain that you just, if you think you're being threatened, you lash out double time. And you go so down deep. And it's a lack of maturity. It's a lack of emotional growth. And just because you are intelligent, just because you have a great vocabulary, does not mean that you have emotional intelligence or maturity. Those are two different things. You could be highly intelligent, but completely lacking in emotional intelligence. And I think that is what the disconnect is. And you always like to say, they can't handle my mouth. They say something to me and they can't handle it when I come back. That is literally a sign of verbal and emotional abuse. That's what people who verbally and emotionally abuse people say. Well, you just can't handle the reaction. You can't handle it. That's a manipulation and abuse in and of itself. So Candiace, it's not about your color. It's not about Andy not liking you. It's about you. Look in the mirror. You did it to your own husband. Last season, you joined in on emasculating him. And then you wondered why he had an attitude with you the entire season. If I was Chris, I would have had an attitude with you too. If my partner ever sided in public with people who were saying like, oh, does he have a job? Is he riding your coattails? He's drinking too much, blah, 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 blah. You're like Kyle. I know I'm making a lot of Beverly Hills references because Beverly Hills is popping right now. You're like Kyle, right? Kyle disrespects her own sister, Kathy. Kyle co-signs and enables Rinna, Erica, Diana, Dorit to join in on the disrespect against Kathy. She enables it. She leads by example. You did the same exact thing, Candiace. When Giselle and your mother and other people, the only person you had an issue with talking about Chris was Mia. That was the only person you had an issue with who was talking about Chris in your music video. You co-signed it with your mom. You co-signed it with Giselle. You co-signed it with anybody else. Even having a scene where you went and told him, well, this is what the lady said, and nah. You co-signed it. So if you co-sign and you disrespect your husband, you belittle him, you emasculate him, I'm really confused why you're so shocked that your quote-unquote sister friend, this is what Candiace, delusional mind, actually thought, that Giselle was her friend. I'm telling you, that's why all these, Mia, you're next, boo-boo. You really thought your quote-unquote sister friend was going to respect your husband moving forward? You really, I don't know why you're so shocked that Giselle is now claiming that Chris was trying to sleep with her. That Chris was trying was, you know, checking for her. I don't know why you're so shocked. Last season, you had no problem kikiing with her while she was, you know, laughing with your mother about, oh, look at him showing up in the chef outfit. Oh, he's riding her coattails. Oh, does he have a job? What is he doing? What he's drinking? You had no problem then. So I don't know why you're shocked now. When you openly disrespect your family or your spouse, and then you enable and you co-sign it, you cannot be shocked when that disrespect escalates and continues. That's you, Candiace. That is on you. All right, you guys, let's see what you're saying in the chat box. Yep, Wendy is doing a European style, lighter makeup, more blonde hair. JM says Candiace is vile. Steve C says Candiace is an unlikable person. Exactly. Exactly. JM is saying Ashley looks fabulous this season. She does. I think she's trying to get her snatched back after the babies. Steve C says Wendy tries too hard. That's, you know what, Steve, that you hit the nail on the head. That's the annoying part. She definitely tries too hard. She does the most. Hey, Robin, I mean, he doesn't like her. They do use her. I mean, she uses her. I think Candiace uses herself. They don't force her to do all these antics and to do all this stuff. She does it. They're not sitting next to her when she's tweeting and doing Instagram lives. Hey, Perfectly Fall, Candiace is so mature. Exactly. Hey, Darren Hood. Hey, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. So you guys, there you have it. Those are the new leaked stories regarding the Real Housewives of Potomac upcoming season 7 this October. So if you guys are catching the replay or if you're watching now, be sure to put in the comment box, what do you think about Candiace talking about being a victim of Andy and Bravo, the colorism stuff? What do you think about Wendy's ever-changing skin tone? Do you think Mia switched to the wrong side? Do you think it was smart for her to align with the Green-Eyed Bandits, or do you think it will inevitably come back and bite her in the butt when they try to betray her and take down her marriage and her family? And are you guys excited to meet the new housewife, Jacqueline? She's very beautiful, and she's very beautiful. And yeah, there's the new alliance, guys. There it is. So with that, enjoy your Sunday, guys. And before you leave, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live, and share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And don't forget to check out the description box. We have merchandise, we have books, we have podcasts, we got it all. So go ahead and check it out. And with that, I love you. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go.